What's going on, guys? It's Kevin with Optimize Essentials, and today I'm going to share with you 4 essential stretches if you want better posture. You can do all of these in the comfort of your own home or anywhere, your work office, pretty much anywhere that you have space. So let's get started. Alright guys, so the first stretch that I'm going to show you is for your calves, alright? If you haven't seen the dangers of tight calves or how to assess if you have tight calves, make sure you check those videos out because it's really important that you stretch these bad boys out, because if you don't, it can run up through your whole kinetic chain. If you have one calf that's more tight, what happens is you might get a rotated pelvis, alright? So this muscle is responsible for a lot of knee injuries, a lot of hip issues, so you want to make sure you really pay attention to whether or not you have tight calves and stretch them out. So a great way that I recommend doing this is by using an elevated platform or a staircase, as you can see here. All you have to do is first start by staying on it with both feet. Make sure your feet are hip width and straight. You don't want to keep your foot turned out, so make sure your feet are straight, and then you're just going to focus on driving your heels into the ground. So another thing you want to make sure is your posture, right? When you do this, you want to make sure you're not excessively bailing your hips forward or you're not sticking your butt out too much. It's just a nice upright posture and keeping your head aligned, chest out. If you do this correctly, when you stay here for about 2 to 3 minutes, which I recommend doing, your head naturally gets aligned, because a lot of people have forward head posture because the body parts on the lower body parts is what goes on, what gets really dysfunctional, and that causes your shoulders round forward and all kinds of issues. So after you stay in here for about 2 to 3 minutes, if you want a better isolated stretch, what I recommend doing is putting one foot forward and then really straightening out the bottom, the knee that is still being stretched, and driving that heel into the ground. And then you want to switch sides and do that for about another 30 seconds to a minute. So that's the first stretch that I'm going to show you guys, and let's go get moving on to the next one. So the next stretch that I want to share with you is for your lower body. It's for your pelvis. A lot of people have very dysfunctional hip region, and this causes a lot of issues in your lower back, up your thoracic spine, and also into your neck. So you want to make sure that one of the key muscles you pay attention to, which is most likely tight in almost every body that I've personally seen as a personal trainer, is the piriformis, right? So your piriformis is this tiny muscle on your glute, and when it gets excessively tight and you start exercising, you do different movements, you might experience what is called piriformis syndrome. Piriformis syndrome is kind of like sciatica, where you feel this aching pain and might even run down your legs. So every time you're taking a walk, like up the stairs or down the stairs, and you feel an achy pain like on the side of your butt, you want to make sure you stretch out your piriformis to see if this is the cause of what you're experiencing. It's going to help alleviate a lot of issues in your butt if you feel tightness or aches there. So how do you do the pigeon? If you haven't seen yoga, or if you haven't done yoga before, the pigeon stretch is where you put one knee in the center of your body, center of your chest, and you want to make sure that foot comes up a little bit. You don't want it to go straight down, because that way you're just going to be kind of stretching your hamstrings a little bit. You want to bring that foot up, and then you want to sit on top of it, and then you want to slide your back leg away from you, and then you want to sit down on that so that you can really feel it on the side of your butt. To show you a better angle, I'll show you my left side. So you want to put it knee in the center of your chest, and then you want to bring that foot up, and then you want to slide straight back down onto it, and you should feel a deep stretch on the side of your butt. And then to progress it a little bit, what you want to do is you want to take your opposite hand from the knee that you're stretching, and you want to reach and really stretch. And if you didn't hear it, my back popped right there. So this helps if you have a rotated pelvis, because if you have one side that's tighter than the other, your pelvis might rotate. And if you haven't seen my squat assessment on how to assess if you have asymmetrical weight shift, or if your pelvis shifts to one side, you want to make sure you check that out, because as a personal trainer, when I do squat assessments, I see a lot of people shifting their weight to one side, and a tight piriformis is one of the reasons, contributing factors to why people have that weight shift. And I didn't know what was going on for the longest time, but it wasn't until I learned that tight piriformis can be one of the causations or causative factors of this that I figured out. So You want to make sure you stretch both sides out to see which one's more tight, and you want to spend more time on the one that's tighter. And that is the third stretch I want to share with you guys today. Alright guys, so this is the third stretch that I want to show you today. It's called the doorway stretch. This stretch stretches out your pec minor and major, your pec muscles, your chest muscles. Basically what happens is when these muscles get tight, when we're sitting in front of our computers all day, we're using our phones, our shoulders round forward. And when our shoulders round forward, what happens is our chest gets really tight. So a lot of people you'll see with their hands rounded forward or with their shoulders rounded forward. And when this happens, it's like you have like a turtle back almost. So you want to make sure before you go do back exercises, you put your body in a better position by stretching out and opening up your chest. And this helps promote better upright posture, because when you have an open chest and you have your chest out, you stand more tall and your shoulders are more broad. And in this position, you feel a lot more confident. So to stretch out your chest, what you want to do is you want to find a doorway, and then you want to press your arms first at a low angle. This is going to stretch out different angles, different parts of your chest. So the first one is a low angle. You want to put one foot forward in front of the door, and then you just want to lean into it. So when you're stretching, you also want to make sure you're breathing. So you want to take in a deep breath, and then when you exhale, press your body into it. Do this for about 45 seconds to a minute, and then you want to progress it by bringing your arms up a little bit higher to about 90 degrees, and you want to do the same exact thing. Breathe in, and then when you exhale, press and hold into it. 45 seconds to a minute, and then finally you want to do one last one, and this is where you go up a lot higher, and this is going to stretch out another different angle from your chest. So same exact thing. Press into it, breathe in, and then exhale. And that is the third stretch that I want to show you to help fix your rounded shoulders and open up your chest. Guys, so this is the last and final stretch that I'm going to share with you, the central stretches that you want to do if you want better upright posture, and it's going to be against the wall. You can do this with a table, which I'll explain in a little bit, but if you don't have a table that you can access, which you should be able to, but a wall works just as fine. It's for shoulder mobility and upper back thoracic extension. So what you want to do is you want to take your hands and you want to place them against the wall, and then you want to push your hips back. And then from this angle, you should really feel a stretch in your upper back. And then from here, what I like to do is also mobilize the spine by sticking your butt out. So by mimicking lordosis, and then tucking your butt under, pushing your hips back, and then exhaling and then pressing under. Do this about 15 times, and you should really feel your shoulders and your upper back being worked. The reason why it's important to stretch out and do your stretch out and mobilize your shoulders is because a lot of us have rounded shoulders, and if you just saw me do the other chest exercise, once you stretch out your chest, then your shoulders will be in a better position because you're no longer rounded forward. And then to top it off, you also want to do the hands on the wall stretch, so that you can help mobilize your upper back, because a lot of people have rounded thoracic spines where it's called kyphosis, basically where your shoulders and your upper back is rounded forward along with your shoulders. So doing this will help promote extension in your upper back and also shoulder mobility. A lot of people have poor shoulder mobility, which is why we get a lot of shoulder injuries when you go to the gym and your shoulders are rounded forward. Imagine doing shoulder presses with your shoulders rounded forward. It's not going to be fun. After a while, you're going to get shoulder impingement and all kinds of nasty issues with your shoulders. So you want to make sure you do the wall stretch after you do the chest stretch, so that you can put the upper body into the best position possible. Alright guys, so that's all for today. Those are the 4 stretches that I want to show you, the essential stretches that you want to do if you want better posture, better upright posture. And I did this all in the comfort of my own home. So the first one was the calf stretch. I did this on a stairwell. You can pretty much do this anywhere where there's a platform. And then the second stretch you want to move up to is your hips, and that's the pigeon. I did this right on the ground. And then finally, or not finally, not yet, the doorway stretch for your chest. And then finally, I did the one where I put my hands on the wall and I stretched out my upper back. And those are the 4 stretches that you can do pretty much anywhere. If you don't want to do it against the wall, you can also do it against a table or any flat surface. just imagine that there's a table right here, and then you can press your arms down and really push your butt back. So imagine there's a flat surface and you just press down. It's the same exact one, except for this one you can really get a better push into the wall. So those are the 4 stretches that I'm going to share with you today if you want better posture. But if you want a full extensive postural assessment and program that teaches you how to eat correctly, how to train properly, it's great for beginners who don't have a good understanding of physical fitness, nutrition, and posture, then you want to make sure you check out my website. I have a 4-week program designed specifically for the people who want to lay a solid foundation for the fitness journey to come. So you want to check it out at optimizeessentials.com, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you got value out of this, because I'm going to be posting a lot more videos on fitness, health, and nutrition. So that's all. Have a wonderful day, guys. I'm out.